So, if you look here, I got my Arduino board supplying 5 volts and ground to this circuit. You can notice my LEDs are already on. Let me turn them off for demo purposes. So I'll go input, output, input, output, input, output, and there we go. So, this IC module on the left side has all outputs and ground. So all these outputs are hooked up to LEDs, and on the right side there are 5 inputs. One of them is being tied to ground because it would have the same effect and that wouldn't mess with my circuit that way. And the rest of them are my buttons here. So these buttons, depending on what sequence I press these buttons, they will change a 8-bit binary number. Like they'll add a 1 to the front and move the rest of the numbers over 1. Or it'll add a 0 to the front and move the other numbers over 1. And so I'm going to demo this so if I hold down my data line and I press input clock, it's going to put a 1 in the front of that 8-bit binary number. And so if I hit output, it turns on the first LEDs. And notice that there's a few LEDs, and that's button to bouncing. These resistors do help, but they are not perfect. So if I also hit data line again, I go input clock, and I put output, it turns on a bunch of LEDs just because my button to bouncing isn't perfect. So I'm going to turn these off. So if I hit input clock and then output, it's going to add a 0 to the front of that. And you notice they slowly start turning off. And that's essentially how it works.